What's up, YouTube? Hello, my fellow ESO gamers. So, this is a real quick video that I did. This is actually a clip from my previous stream, just talking about proc sets. I released another video talking about proc sets, and in my opinion, as a long-term player, I guess I preface that. I would just say, take a look at the video, tell me what you think. In my opinion, I think that ZeniMax Online Studios thinks that the vast majority of their player base are incompetent. The primary reason is it's very easy in ESO to develop a very competitive build where you literally have to do nothing but press one or maybe two buttons in the game to deal ridiculous amounts of damage, especially in a PvP setting. And this is primarily why the vast majority of the builds that I do not run damage proc sets. And in this showcase, I was talking with some of the people who are in my stream, talking about proc sets and how easy it is, because people often say, well, you running proc sets, you kind of like give up other aspects of your build. And with this build and with the previous build that I showed and regarding my Procplar, which I'll leave a link into either up above or below, this really just showcased how broken PvP is in the Elder Scrolls Online. And this is literally just what happens when you dumb down PvP, when you dumb down your PvE. Literally what happens is you lower the skill level for the whole community. And this is in essence what you get from the Elder Scrolls Online in terms of PvP. New World is unfortunately going this exact same way. So I think the video is probably about maybe around 10 minutes or so. Take a look at it. If you're interested, feel free to leave a comment down below. If this is your first time, be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss out on future content. With that, check out the video.
Plus, they also think that they also assume most of their players are incompetent, which is why they keep on developing proc sets. Because if you really imagine that your player base needs this much handholding, you typically don't respect their player base. It's just a reality. Like, if you really think that your player base needs this many training wheels, then you probably don't have much respect for them. You must think that they're incompetent.
I mean, there's so many ways to make like such easy builds in ESO where the damage is just done for you.
It doesn't even teach you about light attack weaving. Well, actually, yeah, there is like a little death recap that talks about light attack weaving.
But it's so easy to make like these ridiculously broken builds in ESO. I mean, you can take like Valken Scoria, Sheer Venom, plus the Way of Fire, right? And with what's it called? Poisons. And all you have to do is cast one poison injection, and it all procs. All you gotta do is cast one poison injection, and it all procs. All right, we'll take a look at it. I'll do it right. I'll do it here on the builder. All right, so we'll go Nightblade. We'll go for max. We'll go max damage. Let's go Wood Elf. We'll just go Wood Elf. Where the hell's Wood Elf? Here we go. All right, we'll go Wood Elf. We'll go Lover because we want all of the procs to gain bonus damage. All right, so go on the Lover will maximize your proc damage. All right, so we'll go one piece of Scoria. Alright, we'll go medium armor. Medium armor Scoria. And then we'll go sheer. We'll go sheer venom. Alright, so that whenever we cast poison injection, it gives us 8,400 damage. Right? All we need is a bow. Right? And use poison injection. And then what was the other thing? Way of Fire, right? Not that one. There we go.
Is that it? I believe so. Yeah. Way of Fire. Does it come in stam? Let's go robust. I don't think it does. No, it doesn't. It's only HP. Alright, we'll go Way of Fire. And then we'll grab a Way of Fire bow. Let's grab a bow. What does it come in? Right, that goes. That is not it. Way of the Air. There we go, Way of Fire. We'll just grab any one, and then we'll grab another one on the back and fuse. Way of Fire, and we'll go Infuse. And we'll go. Ideally, we'll go Sharpened, right? 'Cause Sharpened will increase the pen, will give you more pen. Alright, you can go with Artaeum. Let's go Skills. We'll grab all the skills. Grab Undaunted. Alright, we'll grab Sigic. Let's go with Fighters Guild. Actually, we don't want Fighters Guild. Let's go that one, because that'll increase the damage of our proc sets. And we'll just grab Race Against Time for fun. What do I want? Let's go Medium Armor. Oh, medium Armor. Let's go Weapons. Let's go Bow. Alright, all you need for this set is that. Grab all our Nightblade passives. That'll give us 20% more damage when we cast it. This will give us minor vulnerability. Put that there. Let's move that over. Come on, stop bugging out on me. Right, and then we'll grab the pen. Right? We'll go at Reapers for the extra penetration. So that when someone dies to our proc sets, we'll gain a major berserk so that our proc sets will deal 25% more damage on the next rotation. Right? And, and everything else doesn't matter, right? Just don't even need weapon damage. Let's go ahead and the best part is you can go Bloodthirsty, right? Because they'll take 9% more damage, right? Right, so they'll take 27% more damage from all of our procs. And so we got a nice Valken Scoria proc. All right, we got Valken for 9,000 damage. And then we'll go with double dot poisons, right? And then you go double. Do you ever see what double dot poisons hit for? You ever see what double dot poisons hit for? Dot poisons, right? So we'll go double dot poisons, right? So let's pull up the old trusty calculator. Right, this is broken ESO at its finest, right? So it's 1266 times 6, right? So this is how much it does. It does 7,600 damage, right? We'll just round that off to 76, and then you get 822, and it's times 11 because the 0.5 does count as an extra tick, so that's plus 11, and then we'll go. What do you say? Plus 7,800. Right. So one double dot poison deals 16,842 damage. Right. This happens every 10 seconds. You get to enjoy this much of damage, and then of course the poison injection will proc the Scoria. The double dot poisons will proc the Scoria. You get to cut it in half, right? You get to cut it in half. And then, which will also proc the Sheer Venom, because the Sheer Venom will get proc because the poison injection, or you can see the proc right there on Sheer Venom is 8,400. And then you get to enjoy the Way of Fire for an additional 38. And of course, that also gets procced by the poison injection. And then on top of that, if we do, and then of course, if I have my ult up, well, I'll gap close to you, hit you with an ult, re-poison injection you, and just wait for it all to re-proc, and you get to enjoy an additional 28% damage. And then once you die, I re-rotate onto someone else, and then I gain access to an additional 25% more damage. But I actually have to put the buffs in, so I always go Major Brutality. Let's go Major Endurance because I use tripods. All right, so get that. We'll have access to Minor Berserk. We'll have access to Minor Force. We'll have access to, where is it? The Minor Crit. Minor Savagery. We'll have access to, I forgot to put the Weapon Glyph in. Alright, so we'll put the Weapon Glyph on the back bar. Alright, let's go back to the buffs. Let's put that in there. Alright, so we're going to have access to minor vulnerability because of the gap closer. We're going to have access to both major breach as well as, where is it? Right, major fracture. And I think that's all the buffs. Right, so in terms of the effectiveness of this build, without even finishing it, you're not exactly at a bad spot. Did I grab all my passives? I think I did. Let me see. I think the only thing I'm missing is like probably go like 1 heavy. So we'll go Scoria 1 heavy. So we gain access to an extra passive, right? That'll put us at 20k. We don't even have to run our TAM, but it's fine. That's a lot of health recovery. That's pretty good stam recovery. What are my things on here? Right, we don't need the HP recovery. So we can actually enjoy some damage. So we'll go 1, right? That's 32. Let's go 1 right there for the cloak. Just to make sure we can cloak spam enough. 3200, more than enough. 50% critical, more than enough. Stamina recovery is okay, but the vast majority, got some pretty good pen. And that brings the effectiveness of this build to 8100, which doesn't even take into account all the procs. Right, so literally all you have to do on this build is stay in cloak, hit somebody with Reaper's Mark. You don't even need, let's move this over. Let's put, right, 9700 Scoria proc. You get 9100 Sheer Venom. And you get 4169. How much is that, right? So that's including this. So that's for the double dot poison, right? And then we gain an additional 9700. Right? Plus an additional 9100. Plus an additional 4169. Right? So you literally get to do all this damage, and all you have to do is hit somebody with a poison injection and an ambush. Right? And that's not even including the additional 20% damage, 20% that you'll get from hitting them with a soul harvest. And that's the beauty of ESO PvP. Right? You literally, all you have to do is hit them, and then of course your next target gains the bonus of Major Berserk. So you actually get to do an additional 25% more damage. Once that person dies, then you just put Reaper's Mark on someone else and you just rinse repeat. This is exactly what I did during the dot meta on my Magblade, and all I did was put all dots, and I would just wait, dot someone up completely, throw Reaper's Mark on him, and as soon as he would die, I'd gain Major Berserk and literally just rinse repeat onto the next person, and people would just fucking melt. It's so stupid, but this is how easy it is to create builds like this, where literally all you have to do is ambush so that you gain access to minor vulnerability, and then hit them with a poison injection, and just sit back and watch. And just sit back and watch. And the best part is that it'll all proc by itself, because this has a 6 second, this lasts 6 seconds and has a 6 second cooldown. So all you have to do is just re-poison injection every 6 seconds, and it all procs by itself. This build still works? Yes, this build is broken as fuck. I don't recommend it for anybody. And they're actually buffing Sheer Venom next patch for who the hell knows why. Because what they did was they removed it so that proc sets couldn't proc sets. But poison injection lasts 10 seconds, and the double dot poisons will also proc Scoria, and it will also proc your Way of Fire will proc off of poison injection, and Sheer Venom will proc off of poison injection, and then everything else procs Scoria. And that's how easy it is. And of course, if someone actually sees you, you just pop cloak, because you've got more than enough magic of recovery, so that if someone sees you, you just hit cloak and then you just walk away. And you actually don't even need the max stamina, so you can actually not run Artaeum food And you could go with you can go clockwork, right, for extra magic recovery. Because you don't even need the stamina, because the stamina doesn't affect all the procs. For this build, Wood Elf. Oh, that's right. Does it show? Let me see something. Yeah, and then on top of that, you gain an additional 1500 pen for the next 6 seconds. Let me see if I can show it here. I don't know if it'll probably not show up. So I'll do it through the CP tray, right? So penetration would come from here. So 1500 pen is over here. All right, so an additional 1500 pen when you roll dodge. All right. So that's basically what it would look like. All right, you'd have 7,000 pen, which is not including Reaper's Mark. Right, because you've got, I believe it's not including Reaper's Mark, it's the Lover. I believe it doesn't show up here. Let me see. Yeah, it doesn't show up. So that's not including what you get from Major Breach and Major Fracture. So you're like 12k, 12.6k penetration, which of course affects your proc sets, right? And then of course, when your opponent gets lower, I totally forgot about this. When your opponent gets into execute range, they get to enjoy an additional 27% more damage from all your proc sets, as well as all the rest of your damage. And this is why I don't use proxies, and why I don't recommend people to use proxies, because literally you don't have to do anything. ZeniMax Online will do all the damage for you. You don't have to worry about it. They're like, don't worry about it. We got you covered. All you gotta do is just press poison injection. Can you handle that? It's like, I think I can, sir. I think I can. It's terrible, man. And if you actually get it to kind of all line up, so if you want to see, you get kind of like an idea of what the proc 6 would look like with an additional 20%, the best I can do is, where is it? The best that I could do would be off balance, would show an additional 10%. So that turn your scoria into 10.6k. You're gonna get more out of that. Your Sheer Venom's almost 10k, and your Way of Fire is at 40, almost 4,600. So you can just add an additional 10% to all that, and that's what all these things would proc with Soul Harvest up. And that's how bad the other scrolls is. Why? Plus, they also think that they also assume most of their players are incompetent, which is why they keep on developing proc sets. Because if you really imagine that your player base needs this much handholding, you typically don't respect their player base. It's just a reality. Like, if you really think that your player base needs this many training wheels, then you probably don't have much respect for them. You must think that they're incompetent.